Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Sports Timeout. I'm Anthony Polidano and today we're out at Sterling Heights High School checking out some spring sports highlights. We've got a show packed to the gills with highlights in this edition of TO, so we're going to get right into the highlights. We'll start out with girls soccer. And we start out with Utica. Dave Moran and company taking on Sterling Heights. Pick up the action in the first. Stallions defensively playing around in the back with it. And they get burned. Rebecca Barrels comes barreling in, takes it away from Tizzolino, and beats the Stallion goalie 1-0 Chieftains. Sterling Heights, though, much better this year. 9 freshmen up on varsity. They came right back. Alex Clues gets it into the box. Kylie Smith here with a nice second and third effort. They finally beat Melissa Dewar, and the Stallions had tied it up at 1 apiece. But Utica just too strong on the home field in the opener. Here, Rebecca Carley getting around the Stallion defense. Nice cross over to Trish DeLuca. Nice finish by DeLuca. She had 2 goals on the night as the Chieftains win it 5-1. Moving over now, Sterling Heights at Warren Mont. And the Stallions putting a whooping on their Warren Con rival. In the first, Chelsea Young, one of those 9 freshmen, with a goal. Stallions up 4-1 in the first half. Then Alex Clues here. This is nice. Pretty much an assist to herself. She gets it around the goalie and no one else in the frame. She goes over there and finishes it off. Sterling Heights up now 5-1 in the first half. More of the same in the second half. Destilio, one of her 3 assists ahead to Kelsey Young. Huge game for the freshman. 4 goals, 2 assists. Stallions romp by the final of 8-1. So we move over to Swinehart. Ike and Utica facing off against one another. Utica playing well in the first half, but Eisenhower gets it going. Jenica Myers here on the outside. She's going to get across into the box. Bria Kazecki's got a beat on it, but Alyssa Talang takes it off her foot. Says, thank you very much. I'll get credit for the goal. Eisenhower up 1-0 at the intermission. Second half, all Eisenhower. Look at Talang. Nice save there. Over to Stacy Catalano. Catalano finds freshman Megan Marzak. And Marzak, very good freshman for Eisenhower this year. She beats Dewar, and Ike was up 2-0. Ike with a bid for more later in the second half. New goalie in for Utica, and perhaps a new goalkeeping strategy. Check out that save by Taylor Randazzo, pinning it between the post with her leg. Didn't even know she had the save, but Eisenhower just too much on the night. Here Kazecki following her own shot off the rebound, puts it in, and Ike wins it, shutting out Utica 4-0. Moving back over to Stevenson at Runkle Field. Bob Mondu and the Titans cleaning up in the early part of the year. This time the victim, Anchor Bay. In the first, one of their returning senior starters, a 4-year starter to a 4-year starter, Vanessa Atanasowski over to Lauren Turkington. Turkington beats the Tar goalie, and Stevenson was up 1-0. Later on in the first half, it's Atanasowski again, going ahead to junior Danielle Lippa. Lippa turns on the Jets. She beats all the Tar players down the field and beats the Anchor Bay goalie. 2-0 Titans at the half. Second half, more of the same. This time it's Turkington ahead to Amy Trandell. Look at the move by Trandell. That's a future OU Grizzly right there. She makes it look easy. Pretty goal for Stevenson as they were up 3-0. Lippa and company tacking on some insurance goals later. This one from a ways out. 2 goals, 2 assists for Lippa on the night. Stevenson romps 5-0. Moving over to Ford taking on Sterling Heights. Falcons with a new coach this year and Stacy Rogers. Early on, it's a couple of her varsity newcomers teaming up. Sophomore Katie Sheff over to Taylor Newhite, the freshman. And Newhite going to beat the Stallion goalie. Just kind of weaves her way through the Sterling Heights defense there. 1-0. Falcons up at the intermission. Second half, Ford explodes. From the corner, it's Rachel Laschek to Katie Sheff. The sophomore puts a head on it. Ford up 2-0. More Falcons in the second half. Here, Rachel Wisniewski over to junior Lauren Fortuna, and Fortuna beats Sterling Heights 3-0. Ford up in the second half. They would score 5 second-half goals. Here, Laschek over to Sheff. Sheff missed the header, but gets it with her foot. 6-1. Falcons beat the Stallions. Now we're going to stop the soccer highlights just for a minute here as we're going to focus in on a pair of soccer coaches having a lot of success. We'll start with Stevenson coach Bob Mondu. A ton of success at Stevenson, over 100 career wins with the girls, almost 100 career wins with the boys soccer team, and he does it with some unusual motivational tactics. Here's a closer look. At Stevenson, soccer coach Bob Mondu has carved out a niche as a motivating master, and all of it is centered around having fun.
I tell them we're here to have a good time, but we're not here to treat it as a joke. So it's kind of a fine line, but we try and find it.
Mondu's motivational tactics often come in rare form.
This is Ike.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
As the Titan coach stops at no length when breaking the ice.
When it's like tense, it kind of eases it up a little bit, gets your nerves off of things, and it's like if you're ever having a bad day, he's always there to say something totally random that'll just make you laugh.
He's really goofy, and it helps with especially the younger players because it breaks them up. It helps them get loose, and it just really helps them, build their self-esteem.
Mondu even went hip-hop at last year's team banquet, busting out a 2.5-minute rap song about the Titan season.
The rap came out of surprise. He just came up, turned his hat sideways, started rapping. It was funny, memorable for sure.
Other coaches would never do that, and he always thinks about making sure the players have tons of fun.
To see your coach up there laughing and he makes a fool of himself.
I got a standing ovation. I was really surprised. You can't be afraid to do things, and if you get embarrassed easily, then you're afraid to step outside the box.
The thing is, he's really goofy and he likes to have fun, but at the same time, when we're in a tough game or a rough situation, he knows when to be serious.
There's a thing called effort, girls. How come there's only one person on the goal?
All kidding aside, Mondu has had some serious success at Stevenson, as his .766 career winning percentage would indicate. Last year, Mondu and the Titans made it all the way to the regional finals thanks to a coaching strategy that encourages input from players.
Before he says anything, he always asks us, what do you guys think we need to work on and everything? And usually we say it and then he agrees or he'll add on stuff or he'll disagree. He's not afraid to say, no, this is what I see.
We talk a lot and that helps us understand us solving the problems, not just him as a coach.
In the end, he'll make his own decision, but he definitely asks us for a lot of opinions.
They really have a lot to say and a lot of good stuff. They'll say, well, we need to do this at practice or whatever, because a lot of them come from good programs and that. And there's a lot of people out there that know a whole lot more than me, and I'm not too old to learn anything yet.
Another girls soccer coach that's having a lot of success this year is Eisenhower girls soccer coach Mehrdad Nakugar. Nakugar is off to a great start, as is his Eagle team. Now, his love of soccer started halfway around the world. For Eisenhower soccer coach Mehrdad Nakugar, soccer is a lifelong passion that began halfway around the world as a boy growing up in Iran.
I played when I was almost 5 years old, playing in the street because that's where the soccer was. It's like going to Brazil or Argentina. Playing on the street with no shoes, and that's where the love started. And soccer back there is they love soccer.
Nakugar came to the U.S. as a teenager and would eventually go on to play for Eastern Michigan University. Since he has focused his life on teaching the game and making sure his players are plenty prepared for what they face on the field.
Player, left side, wide open, Right before that, you were inside to take a shot, you decided not to, made the pass. You're gonna have to start thinking before you receive the ball, who is around you.
He's so focused on us and so prepared for the next game that it makes us feel more confident because we know what we're getting ourselves into.
I try to always prepare my girls for everything, and I think to me these are very important things. You need to let them know, what the opponents are all about. You need to play hard. Do not underestimate Utica team. They are good, and we play them every year. I mean, even minor things that a lot of coaches don't, pay attention to is, for us, we spend a lot of time on very detailed stuff. We got the win the first half. What that means, take advantage of the win.
Before game time, he tells us the other team's strategies. He always knows how they play, and he sets us up according to how, if they have good players that we need to watch.
It makes the game kind of easier when you feel that your coach knows exactly what he's talking about or prepares you for it. It makes you know, what you're getting yourself into, how you're, think you're going to play and stuff like that, more than just going in, all right, let's see how this team is in the first 10 minutes. He always knows.
He's very thorough from tryouts, probably has the most intricate tryout process of any of our sports here, documents just about everything. I had given him what I had worked on and I thought was pretty good, but he's actually expanded on that.
His preparation has paid off as the varsity team is 47-10-12 in his 4 years at the helm. Ike is off to a 10-0-1 start and are regarded as one of the deepest and most talented teams in the MAC, creating the good problem of finding enough balls and playing time to go around.
Especially when you coach at the schools that there's a high expectation and players are expecting for playing time. These are all the factors that you need to be able to communicate to every player and making sure that they understand, as for instance, why they don't play as much as they're supposed to. When I feel comfortable, you can do this formation, you're out, second group, you're back in, you'll stay for the rest of the game.
I honestly think he's really fair about that. With bigger games, he knows what he has to do, because we're all here to win, so I think he makes good choices that way.
And while his bottom line is impressive, it's not what he enjoys most about coaching.
I love soccer so much that when I see the girls accomplished, it's not so much winning or losing part of it. When I see them getting to the next level, it makes me proud. And and that was my dream when I was a kid. That I always wanted to tell myself when I get older, I want to teach that to other kids. And to me, when I see these kids learn even one little thing from me, to me is important, because I think that makes me feel good. It makes me feel that I was able to accomplish that.
Now on to the heavily anticipated battle, Nakugar in the Eagles against Mondu in the Titans at Swinehart Field. The highly anticipated matchup never quite materialized. Pick up the action in the first half. It's Alyssa Talang on the outside. She makes a run, takes a shot. Chelsea Paris with a nice save there to keep Eisenhower off the board. 20 saves on the night for Paris. She was busy most of the evening. Great chance for Stevenson here in the first half. Amy Trandell trying to beat Hind and just misses wide of the goal. An early chance gone by for Stevenson. Eisenhower makes them pay. Stefana Sorello from deep just before the end of the first half. Ike takes a 1-0 lead at the intermission. Murdat Nakugar's team putting the pressure on Stevenson in this one as they carried the play throughout. Here, Christine Kelly showing a little muscle there, getting the ball away from Stevenson. Nice pass ahead to Talang. She beats Paris. Eisenhower up 2-0 at the 31-41 minute mark left in the second half. Then Aubrey Sudemeyer here, another threaded needle ahead to Talang. She beats Paris again. 3-0 Titans up. Eisenhower rolling in this one. They outshoot Stevenson 33-7 on the night. Here, Allie Meisner across to Sudemeyer, who gets ahead on it, and the Eagles win a lopsided affair, 4-0. Moving over to Ford, Falcons trying to get revenge over a loss to Fraser in the playoffs last year. Pick up the action in the second half, still scoreless. It's Katie Hunt putting the Ramblers on the board as they beat Bowers in goal, 1-0. Fraser up just 2 minutes into the second half. Falcons trying to even things up. Freshman Leanne Bohm here with the indirect kick, and it doesn't count. It was indirect, so the goalie did not touch it. We were still 1-0 Ramblers. Later on, though, Bohm and the Falcons come back again. Bohm on the corner kick. Katie Sheff elevates and gets the head on it. 1-1. Ford ties it up with Frazier. 8.5 minutes left to play. We were still at 1-1. Ramblers beat Ford, as we said last year, in the final minutes. This time, Falcons return the favor as it's Sheff putting pressure on the goalie. Following her shot, it pays off. Ford with a big 2-1 victory, one of their preseason goals over the Ramblers. Eisenhower going up against Stevenson. Titans trying to get revenge on Alyssa Talang, who had 2 goals against him in the first meeting, and she had a good game here, beating Chelsea Parise in the first half. Ike up 1-0, 17:05 left to go in the first. Then off the corner, Stefana Sorello over to Marzak. It gets through to Shelly Rogers. Shelly Rogers with the goal, and the Eagles were up 2-0 at halftime. Second half, more Eagles, as they were just as dominant as they were in the first meeting against Stevenson. This time it's Stacy Catalano ahead to Marzak. Marzak with the shot. Jamie Monteroso tried to knock it out. She actually knocked it in, but probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. 3-0 Eisenhower up, and a cherry on top here in the second half. Alyssa Talang, one-on-one with the Titan goalie, and she beats Parise. Eisenhower beats Stevenson for a second time this year by a final score of 4-0. All right, we're going to move on now to baseball. It was supposed to be a good year for area baseball teams. Stevenson had a lot of stars coming back, but we start out at Eisenhower and a look at the new team under new coach, Jason Gendro. Jason Gendro talking to his team early on, looking to come out strong in the opener. And how about pitcher Dan Pollock? He came out strong in the first inning, strikes out the side, including Anthony Reed here looking. Good first inning for Pollock, who went 4 strong. Bottom of the first, Gendro getting run support and Pollock getting run support from catcher Griffin Jones. Jeremy Brown serves it up, and Jones sends it out. He crushes this one to left field, and the junior gave Eisenhower a 3-0 lead. Top of the second now. Runner on third for the Huskies. Jordan Kerr at the plate. Kerr delivers the infield single as it goes off of the glove of Pollock. Valutis can't get the runner. Run comes in to score 3-1. Huskies get within 2, but they would get no closer. Brian Valenti on here in the 7th, striking out Kerr, and then gets Corey Smith. Big last inning for Valenti as Ike beats the Huskies in the opener by the final of 6-2. Then Joey Manuel and the Titans taking on Eisenhower at home. Steve Pistono dealing on the hill. Dominant performance by Pistono. He got hurt in the game against Eisenhower last year. Takes it out on the Eagles this year. Striking out Sean Kidd on the wicked curve and then throws it by Valenti. Stevenson battling with Eisenhower early on. Valenti and company holding serve with the Titans, but then it starts to unravel here in the bottom of the third. Josh Grab goes deep to the opposite field off of the Ike Sr., and Stevenson pulls away and beats Eisenhower in a rout. Mercy, 12-2. Andy Lucas and the Chieftains taking on the Falcons of Henry Ford II. Pick up the action, bottom of the first. Ben Orr on the hill. Nick Rowe at the plate, and Rowe raking deep to left and off the wall. It's an RBI double as Steve Moore comes in to score, and the Falcons were up 1-0. On to the bottom of the second. Ford at it again. This time 2 on for John Kozak. And the Falcon wrestler goes right back up the middle. A pair come in to score for Ford, and they were up 3-0. Ford swinging the bats well in this one. Bottom of the fourth now, Orr still on the hill. It's Rowe again at the plate. Again, he does damage. Another hit for Rowe. Ford goes on to win 8-5. Wind blowing out at Stevenson. Titans taking on Utica. Plenty of runs being scored in this one. Pick up the action at top of the third. Brian Falta on the hill. Andy Orr at the plate. And Orr, nice inside out swing going to the opposite field. Runner comes in. We were tied up at 1. Couple batters later, it's Spencer Pliska at the plate, and Pliska also a nice piece of hitting in the rain as he flares this one out to right. Brian Mazurek and Orr come around and score. 3-1, Chieftains on top, but the Titans answer right back. 6 runs in the bottom of the frame, keyed by this Jack Woodberg 2-run single up the middle, and the Titans were up 7-3. Utica went through 5 pitchers on the day, and none of them had any success here. Mike Jagic greeted by Mike Wood rather rudely. Wood takes him deep to right field. 2 home runs on the day for the Titans. Steve Pistono had 1 and 5 RBI as Stevenson romps 13-6. Then the Titans would take on Dakota for first place in the MAC Red. Steve Pistono on the hill facing Mike Romanchik here in the first and gets him looking on the curveball. We were scoreless. Top of the third now. Titans up 1-0. Rodney Hush on second. Pistono facing Romanchik again, and this time Romanchik makes the adjustment, takes him deep to right center field. It's an RBI double off the wall as Hush comes around to score, and we were tied at 1. Stevenson doing some damage against the Dakota ace. Brian Marlinga onto the bottom of the fourth. It's Woodberg up again, and this time Woodberg taking Marlinga to right. The flare falls in. Titans score 2 in the fourth to go up 3-1. Pistono settling down after that rocky third inning. Gets Mitch Lovett swinging here. Great game for Pistono as he goes the distance in this one. Trouble, though, for Stones in the top of the 7th. Stevenson went into the 7th up 3-1, but Dakota showing their resiliency. They fight back here. Chris Whitney with a couple on, goes right back up the box. 2 come around to score. Dakota ties it at 3-3. Next batter up would also deliver a run-scoring single. Dakota takes a 4-3 lead into the bottom of the 7th. But Stevenson comes back after a Jason Fracassa single. It's Steve Pistono off reliever, Mitch Lovett. Fracassa comes around to score. Beating the throw, Stevenson ties it up with the Cougars at 4 apiece. A winning run, Trey LaRock on third with 2 out. Dakota walks Mike Wood to get to Joe Fleming, and Fleming says, be careful what you wish for. I might just smack a game-winning hit. Off of Lovett, lines it past Hush in the left field. LaRock comes in, and Stevenson pulls out the dramatic walk-off win. Joe Fleming is your hero. Titans take it 5-4. Well, on to girls softball, another team with plenty of talent coming back was the Stevenson Titans. They opened up their season with a pretty big test. How about the 4-time defending state champions of Regina? Well, Regina might have 4 consecutive state titles, but Julie Schlesinger has 4 district titles in her tenure at Stevenson. Not too shabby. Pick up the action top of the first. Jessie Plague pitching like she's got her eyes on a state title this year. Striking out Corey DeLon-Malier and then Mary Manuzak in the first. Plague was dominant early on. Matching her was Regina pitcher Erin Giannotti, striking out Shelby Spano looking there. Giannotti gave up just 1 hit on the afternoon. Top of the fourth now. DeLon-Malier at the plate again. This time, Plague, the self-defense play, catches the liner and doubles the runner off first. We were still scoreless. On to the bottom of the fourth now. Mackenzie Jones on second after a fielder's choice. Morgan Gregorich, the junior, would be at the plate, and Gregorich going to hit the Giannotti offering down to short. Error by the shortstop. Ball skips by her into left field. Jones motors around third, and she's caught in a rundown. Looks like she's dead meat, but catches a break as the ball goes off of her helmet. That's how Stevenson scores the go-ahead run. They're up 1-0. Then Jones, lucky on the base paths and good in the field. Look at this in the top of the 6th. Full extension, robbing Chelsea DeLon-Malier of a hit and keeping the game at 1-0. That's all the help Jessie Plague would need. She was brilliant. A 3-hit complete game shutout, striking out 10 as Stevenson downs Regina 1-0. On to Sterling Heights. New coach Christina Harlan watching her Stallions move up. They're in the MAC Gold. They're facing a MAC Red team, the Utica Chieftains. In the first, Ashley Lapicola gets Lauren Heisted looking there. That doesn't happen very often. We're still scoreless. Then the Stallion defense falls asleep a little bit in the first. The Becky Churai pop-up is dropped. Runner comes in to score 1-0 Utica. Sterling Heights at the plate now in the bottom of the first. It's Rochelle Booth to right with the base hit. Tiffany Gordon coming in to score, and she's out by a country mile. We were still 1-0. On to the top of the second. Utica looking to pad their lead. Churai back at the plate again off Lapicola, and Churai takes this one deep to left field. It goes a long single, but it's a 2-run single as Heisted comes in. Utica was up 5-1. Christina Harlan's team, though, swinging the bats pretty well in this one. They knock Becky Dyer out of the game in the second. Her bases loaded in the second. Jenna Sumter at the plate, and Sumter takes this offering to left center. 2 runs come in to score. Stallions cut the lead down to 7-3. They would get it to within 7-5, but Anthony Adamo reminding his team that they're a MAC Red team playing a MAC Gold. These are not the kinds of games you lose. Top of the third now. Utica still at it offensively as they hit the ball hard all day. They were assisted by 18 walks to put runners on. Churai at the plate delivering again with a 2-run single. Utica back up by 4 at 9-5. Top of the fourth, Chieftains now starting to put this one out of reach. Melissa Ballard at the plate. It goes off the third base bag. Couple runs come around to score. Utica bangs out a 17-6 win over Heights. On to fourth, new coach Jerry Anderson, the other new softball coach in the area, taking over as the Falcon skipper. Anderson's team pumped up early on in the first. Lindsay Trujillo at the plate for St. Clair. Look at the play by Kayla Kabiski. She gets the sinking liner, tried to double up the runner off first, couldn't get her. We were scoreless. That way to the top of the third. Jill Kaltz walks 4 straight hitters, including Allison Keppers. St. Clair takes a 1-0 lead. Next hitter for the Saints is Jane Halcrow. She goes right back up through the middle. The RBI single scores 1. Another run coming in to score. She's gunned at the plate. It would stay a 2-0 game. Bottom of the third now, Janelle Feeblecorn trying to get one of those runs back. She goes deep to left. Couple Saints collide out there. Feeblecorn on her way to third with a leadoff triple. She'd later score on a fielder's choice to make it 2-1. Called settles down the rest of the way, striking out 12. But Keppers every bit as good as she goes the distance as well, striking out 9. And St. Clair wins the pitcher's duel by the score of 2-1. On to Ike now. Titans take it on the Eagles. Andrea Cruz in the circle for Floyd Shotwell's team. And Stevenson not letting her get settled in. First hitter of the game is Marissa Borkowski. And you know the old saying that catchers don't run very well. Well, it doesn't apply to Borkowski. Leadoff triple for Marissa, and Stevenson in business, top of the first. Very next hitter, Marissa Masakowski. Masakowski also goes opposite field. This is an RBI triple of her own. Stevenson grabs a 1-0 lead. Very next hitter, Ashley Coffin. Coffin, the senior, goes right back up through the middle. Masakowski comes in, Titans led 2-1. On to the top of the second now. Stevenson tacking on some more damage. Again, it's Masakowski destroying the Cruz pitch. This one to left field, an RBI double, scores Sarah Nodell. Stevenson up 3-zip. Titans piling it on in this one, racking up the extra base hits. They had 3 triples on the afternoon. That's unusual. Here the freshman Nodell gets into the act. She drills one over the right fielder's head. Spano comes in to score, and the Titans were up 6-0. More than enough for Jessie Plague to work with. She was outstanding, allowed only 1 hit on the afternoon, striking out 5, including Lauren Noblesdorf here. She gets a little help from her defense in the fourth. Ashley Coffin showing the range and the arm. Stevenson mercies Ike, 10-0. All right, that does it for this edition of Sports Timeout. In our next edition of the show, we're going to wrap up the regular season in high school sports. And following that, we'll have a look at the baseball, soccer, and softball playoffs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Try